How you doing? Where you from? Hey, actually, you know what? Let's take a quick picture because I'm doing my tour now. And if somebody can take a picture. Everybody get crowd up, yeah. Get around me, everybody, so let's take a picture. You got it?
Thank you, sir.
All right, guys.
I'm not so lucky. Big Poppy, I got a Yankees hat on right now.
I know, man. Damn. That's why I got my Dior hat today. Hey, nice to meet you guys, man. Nice to meet you. God bless.
We're going to walk through the museum for about an hour, then I'm going to take you downstairs to collection storage where we have all the stuff that's not on display, and we'll take a look at some of that.
Awesome.
Okay. So this is a trophy case for a team called the Brooklyn Eckfords, and all these baseballs come from games in the 1860s. So back then when you played a game, you would play with one ball for the whole game, and the team who won gets to keep the ball. That was actually in the rules.
No way.
Up until the 50s. And the team that would win would take the ball, they would gild it gold, put the score on it, and bring it back to their clubhouse, which was an actual place where they socialized, not just where you changed, and put it in their trophy case. Look at the scores on the games. 47-6.
47-6.
40-29. You have to.
I've been in the field like, yeah, really?
Yeah. So that's what the first gloves would have looked like there. So I told you, from the 1840s to the basically 70s, nobody wore gloves. By the time you get to the 1890s, pretty much everybody is. That's the first prototype for the original catcher's mask, based on a fencing mask. Looks like a torture device, doesn't it?
I know. I was just thinking about that.
In 1882, just for part of the season, they experimented with playing position color-coded by jersey. So all second basemen wore striped jerseys, for example. That means everyone on the same team didn't have the same jersey on, which was completely confusing. And they called them clown costumes. It lasted like a month, and they decided they needed to quit.
Right.
So here's our exhibit on Babe Ruth. That's actually a uniform that was worn by the Babe.
You guys have a Babe Ruth bat here that people can touch?
No, that was an old exhibit. It wasn't,
right?
Yep, that we haven't.
So my dad, in the summer of 2004, he came here. He had a picture, by the way, that he grabbed Babe Ruth bat and he said to the bat, "We're breaking your curse this year."
That's awesome.
And we won the World Series that year. So
here, look at some of his. Look at a couple Babe Ruth bats.
I don't know if we can be able to use that bat nowadays.
What was your standard? Did you change much during your career? It was the same size
No,
bat?
I was pretty much. Actually, you know what? When I went to the Red Sox, I went for a heavier bat. Jason Varitek got me into it.
Okay.
Because he noticed that I was too big. He did his own math, and at the end of the day, he was right. Because I couldn't, because my bat was smaller than the way that I was supposed to use.
Right.
I was a little too all over the place with my bat. So I got to create a balance in between how strong I was and my bat sizes. So he got me in my mind at the beginning. I was like, but then
it worked.
I learned, and it was easy afterwards. Yeah. After a minute, But
then it stayed the same with
the whole time. Yeah.
Here's Ty Cobb. I wanted to point him out, another legend. For 5 years, in 1908 to 1912, there was a famous minstrel, vaudeville minstrel, who loved baseball, and he gave out a cup to the person who had the highest batting average those 5 years. Honus Wagner won the first one, Ty Cobb won the next 4, and he stopped handing them out.
Is that right?
But this is what a batting title trophy would have looked like then. It was different every year.
That's huge. I don't think I have room in my house for one of those. Well, probably.
So basically, this whole floor works chronologically, and as we continue on, you're just moving forward in time. Right?
Yes.
So there's the 1910s Giants. Here's the teens Red Sox, the ones that won the World Series.
That was in 1912?
So they won 4 times in the teens, 12, 15, 16, and 18, and Babe Ruth was there for these 3.
Okay.
And that's what an MVP medal would have looked like then.
How about then?
That's Paul Waner's 1927 National League MVP.
And they give this?
That's what they received then, back then.
Guess they realize how hard it is to win an MVP. That's why the trophy is bigger now.
But there's actual gold in that.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
What happened? Why we don't get gold nowadays?
It's not all about size.
What happened?
So I'm going to show you this. We got obviously Ted Williams. I don't know if you've ever seen this before.
No.
So this was the cover of his book called The Science of Hitting that came out in the 70s, and it was based on a diagram that appeared in Sports Illustrated. This is what he said he would hit if pitched in those areas of the strike zone.
If pitch what?
If he was pitched in those areas of the strike zone, that's what he said he would hit.
Like this area right here. Power hitter. It's a little, I mean, that's what pitcher want to go against power hitter, left-handed power hitter.
Yeah.
When...
So was there anybody you particularly crushed, dominated, and then vice versa, that gave you a hard time?
You know, like, if you look at baseball number, pitcher absolutely get you out more than what you hit against them.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that basically tells you how hard hitting is.
Yeah.
Because you get 3 hits and 10 at bat, you're one of the greatest.
Well, that's what Ted Williams said. It's one of the fewest endeavors where you succeed 3 times out of 10. It's considered success.
Yes, exactly. I mean, but not everybody can begin to be
Him.
Like, this guy was out there with Tony Gwynn and those guys.
Yep.
Like, there's not many Tony Gwynns. There's not many Ted Williams that can. Like, Tony Gwynn would make a hit out of an out.
Yeah. Well, they were scientists. They studied the game.
No,
I
mean,
amazing.
This guy were like little out there when it comes down to hitting. When you look at this guy's number, that's not made up.
No.
I mean, put it this way. Mr. Ted Williams, go away for what, 3 years?
More than that. Yeah.
Come back and rake.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah. 521 home runs with all those years missed.
That ain't human. That's all I have to say. That ain't human. If I get a year off, I don't know if I can come back and dominate the following year. A year off is a year off. Especially him, that he wasn't playing baseball, he wasn't war. You know what I'm saying? 3 years and come back and rake? Come on, dog.
2 different wars.
No, come on.
Yeah, not just World War II, but Korea too.
That ain't human.
And, in that time off, he was a fighter pilot. So it's not like he was...
You know what I'm saying? Every time I talk about him, I just can believe the way he did it.
Yeah.
Look at this guy right here.
Yeah, he was something.
Right
There he is, Dominican dandy.
yes.
I thought that was such a great moment with Pedro and with Pedro's speech and Juan,
Yeah,
and they brought out the flag.
that's right. Hey, you know what? Kirby used to call me like this. Kirby Puckett used to call me Willie McCovey.
That's a pretty damn good compliment.
I'm telling you, and I was a kid. I was just beginning my career.
Yeah,
He was like, man,
you
every
can
time I
see-
see you, I think of Willie McCovey.
When I watch you hit or when I hear the
Yeah.
sound of the ball in the bat.
Yes. He say, I look like this guy when I was coming up.
That makes you feel good.
Oh
Good
my
comparison.
God. I had to Google it once.
Yeah. Well, you eventually learn who all these people
Oh,
were
yeah.
and
Oh,
how
yeah.
amazing they were. So here's the Dominican stuff.
Yes. Águila Cibaeña, you know that, right?
What's that?
That's one of the most incredible franchise in the Dominican
Yeah.
Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beside Escogido, right? Lázaro Salazar. That was one of the greatest Cuban baseball player of all time.
Pizarro Salazar.
Yeah. Lázaro Salazar, yeah.
Here's the team they call the Panic Squad, and that's the one that had Roberto Clemente and Willie Mays on it. It's a pretty damn good team.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine having those 2 guys on the team
And there's
playing out there?
There's Clemente's Winter League contract for 1952 for $40 a week.
That's crazy.
You were,
I remember when I signed this.
you're been awfully generous to us, and players often forget over the course of their careers because, like you said, everyone's so busy.
Yeah.
Think about it. But I think we got 5 things on display and a couple more things downstairs for you.
Well, every time they talk to me about the Hall of Fame, how can you say no?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is,
Henry, next to your buddy here.
yep, my compadre.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but every time I was asked by donating something to the Hall of Fame, it was an honor, to be honest with you.
And to have your 04 jersey.
Yes,
Thank you.
yeah, it was an honor.
Thank you.
For real.
This is kind of what put the home run derby on the map.
And then I took over.
So that's Wakefield's from 04, Dave Roberts shoes from the 04 LCS, the famous
Yep.
steel. And then the bloody sock shoes.
Yes. I always get to be asked about this,
About that game, yeah.
about the bloody socks.
Yeah.
I saw the doctor performing a surgery on him in the clubhouse. I saw
Like
it
that day, or the day before.
a couple of days before. People always ask me about, like, is it true that he was bleeding? I'm like, yes. I saw the surgery. I couldn't believe it. I took off running because I couldn't see that. Booyah!
So besides Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron's the only other player who has their own exhibit here in the hall. I think that's quite
Like it
fitting.
should be.
Yes, like it should be.
Like it should be.
They not only
You not heard the story about this guy? So we won the World Series in 2004, and I went with my family to the Bahamas. And I'm sitting down having dinner with my family. But I was sitting like kind of low. And this gentleman came to me and went like, hey, can you sign my baseball? And I was like, yeah, why not? But I'm not looking at his face.
right.
I went and grabbed the baseball, and he said, my grandson would love it. And when he said that, I look up,
And it's Hank Aaron.
he was him. So you know the rest of the story. Why don't you sign one for me? He was super cool, man.
What a humble man.
He was unbelievable. Jesse Orozco. So Barry Bone told me that that guy was the only headache that he had in baseball.
What's the only what?
Headache.
Literally,
Like
in
this,
terms of hard
this,
hit.
yeah, this is the guy that I asked him that question. Which one is the guy that gives you the most trouble?
Yeah. That's what I was wondering about you. There's usually at least one guy.
Yes. No, I mean, I had tons of guys that give me trouble. I just used to figure them out at some point, you know what I'm saying? But Barry won't have no issues with nobody else. However,
Except
you know
for
what I'm
Jesse
saying?
Orozco.
That's him. So the Red Sox. Oh, yeah, I was seeing that the other day. That's sick. That's this year, right?
Yep. Well, yeah, last season, yeah.
I mean, last season, yeah. That's sick right there. So it don't used to be a ring, right?
Not always a ring, sometimes a watch, sometimes a pendant. And eventually in the 20s, they started doing rings, and that became what they do.
Guys,
That was a good choice.
Ring?
Yes.
they're museum artifacts now.
All
You
right.
can double X work for you, yeah.
Yeah. That sounds. You can play with you now.
Yeah, mine. Goes with your outfit.
So this is collection storage. This is where we keep everything that's not on display. We have about 40,000 three-dimensional artifacts and display about 10%. So there's a lot down here. I've got a whole bunch of stuff pulled out for you.
All right, let's see.
We have these out to give comparison. This is a Trout bat, which is very standard, right? He used this for 2015 leadoff home run in the All-Star game.
This is my guy right here. I love this kid right here. No better face than him to represent baseball. I'm telling you right now.
That's Ichiro's from setting the single-season hits record in 2004.
I love this dude.
How can you not?
I love this guy. Absolutely.
Joy of playing the game and
The first time I beat Ichiro, right? I was playing first base. He got on base, and he started speaking to me in Spanish. Start looking around. Hey, it's me, Ichiro. Yeah, I know how to get down in Spanish.
I've heard other players say that he's the funniest
No,
dude.
he is the funniest dude, man.
Yeah.
And can rake.
Look familiar?
That's your guy. This,
And that's you too. Yeah. So these are 400th home run batting gloves.
This helmet's not crack open? Oh yeah, right here.
Yep.
Because I used to throw my helmet all over the place. And they get me out.
Here's your buddy Pedro.
My compadre.
04 World Series.
Yes. Pequeña cabeza. Who's this right here?
That's David Ross. That's
2013,
13
yeah, when
World
we
Series.
won, yeah.
These are Johnny Gomes.
Now you walking me into the group. My boys, you know what I'm saying? Orlando.
Yeah, that was from 04 when he
04.
didn't make any errors at all during the year and the postseason.
Jim Rice.
Yep.
My old man.
1978, 400 total bases.
Wow. How about that?
That is the ball. 04.
That's the one?
That's the one.
Get out of here.
That Doug Mankiewicz, and
How you got it?
that's how they agreed to settle the feud by giving it to us.
But you guys got
So
it in
we-
2006?
Yeah, we got it 2 years after the fact. Remember Mankiewicz said that he didn't want to give it up?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. Be honest with you. I mean, to the Hall of Fame, I probably will. But that was a big deal. I remember now, huh?
It was a big deal for us too. We were pretty pumped we got the ball.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yadrinsky.
yeah,
Man, you got all the badasses right here.
I figured I had to pull some good ones for you. That's Yastrzemski's 400th home run bat.
See, this feels good.
Yeah. Poppy, just be careful behind you when you.
What happened?
Just be careful you don't hit that.
Trust me, I know how to handle this.
That's Johnny Damon. The first year there with three hits in one inning.
This one is not broken? Because Johnny used to break a lot of bats. Especially facing Mariano. Johnny used to get loaded up every time we go to play the Yankees because he knew he was going to break 3 bats and 1 at bat against Mariano.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Obviously, this is broken. Be careful. But I wanted to pull out a pocket bat for you.
Who's that?
Kirby.
Oh, my man. My man.
What that one's for?
This was my guy, you know that, right? And
Yeah.
I was lucky enough that walk into the big league and bump into him. He was working in the front office already, so. But he was hilarious, man. I mean,
That's when he went 6 for 6 and had 10 consecutive hits, tying Rennie Steddett's modern mark in
bad boy.
1987.
Bad boy. I don't know who I can call who was funniest in between him and Millar. Dude was funny. Kirby was, oh my God. He used to make me laugh all the time. You know, I used to get to the Metrodome and he had an office above the ticket office. And I used to walk through that door. I don't know if you guys ever walked through that door. Yeah. So the minute I pull up, he would be, hey, step in my office. Man, I'm telling you. Off the camera, I'm going to tell you some story about that guy, man. Oh, boy. That was my guy, man.
Ted Williams' final home run bat.
Really?
521.
The Avatar. Dude wasn't human right here.
Yeah.
People don't understand. I mean, this man went away for what, 3.5 years?
Two different wars, yeah.
And come back and rake. So he went out 2 years and 40,
At the prime of his career.
42 and 43. He
42,
and came back
Right.
and then did it again and come back and rake.
Yep. Yeah, this is from 1960. That was his final season.
That's unbelievable. See, that's the thing, man. I mean,
That was his last at bat. Very, very famously, and then kind of just walked off the field, didn't really even acknowledge the fans.
Come back.
That was it.
Yeah.
Hit a home run, right field. That was it. So he hit a home run, and that was it.
See, I'm out. Oh, wow.
Can't bring you down here and not see Babe Ruth.
Exactly. This was the bad for the man. So, I seen that you guys have like different
That's for him.
bats from him, right?
Yeah, that's later in his career. That one probably weighs about 35 ounces, but we have others that are well into their 40s. 40
That's
ounces.
what I thought.
Yeah. Like many players, he
Babe wasn't a strong dude, huh? You know what? I think both of these gentlemen were extremely impressive. But if I had to shoot for one, I gotta go with Mr. Ted Williams because of going out and coming back. That is impossible. I don't know if you understand. Like, and not just come back and rake.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at these movies where about veteran going out there and coming back, most of them struggle with what they live through it out there and what they see.
Particularly, I mean, his vision and his timing. It just like didn't change.
That he did it like back-to-back year, or everything like 3 years in between.
About 10 years apart.
Wow. That's impressive.
Imagine how many
Yeah.
home runs he would have had.
Wow.
Well into the 600s for sure.
Easy. That's why when people want to put me out there with that guy, I'm like, no. Don't
Tell
do
him
it.
he doesn't believe about the Red Sea.
Oh, no?
No, he doesn't believe it.
That's the only thing I don't believe. Until I see a video, because that was very powerful, and I don't even got close to that.
Right. How'd you like your tour?
It was awesome. It was awesome.